There's no question that Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson are three of the best quarterbacks in the NFL today. But the question is, which one of them will have the best career when it's all said and done? And today, we are going to find out. So, the way we're going to find out is I'm going to create a franchise mode with each one of these three quarterbacks. I'm going to simulate 10 years into the future, which will be presumably the end of or near the end of their career. And then we are going to see which one of them finishes their career with the best stats. Obviously, these stats will include MVP awards, total passing yards, total passing touchdowns, Super Bowl victories, Super Bowl MVPs, basically any stat that you would judge a quarterback by. And we're going to see which one of the three finishes with the best in each category. And then at the end, I'll probably decide which one of them I think had the best career. And then you guys can let me know in the comments which one you think had the best career. All right, I'm going to create a franchise mode. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters which team I pick. Because I'm just going to sim 10 years and look back at like career stats. So I'm just going to stick on the Patriots because that's my team. It's already auto-generated. But I will adjust the settings. So basically, I'm just going to simulate one. I was thinking about doing three separate, but I think like 10-year Madden simulations take like forever. So I'm just going to go like one 10-year simulation and then just look at all three of their stats individually. But I am going to change the league settings. I don't think any of this really matters for a simulation, but difficulty is going to all Madden. Time limit's going to 15 minutes. Auto progress players is going to on, and all of the injury settings are going to go off. So as far as stats go at the beginning of this, Josh Allen currently sits at 26,434 yards, 195 touchdowns, and 84 interceptions. Joe Burrow is currently sitting at 19,001 passing yards, 140 passing touchdowns, and 46 interceptions. And Lamar Jackson is currently sitting at 20,059 passing yards, 166 passing touchdowns, and 49 interceptions. On to the legacy leaderboard. Josh Allen is currently sitting at 0 Super Bowl victories, 0 AFC Championship victories, and 4 yearly awards. Joe Burrow is sitting at 0 Super Bowl victories, 1 AFC Championship victory, and 2 yearly awards. And Lamar Jackson, 0 Super Bowls, 0 championship victories, and 6 yearly awards. I'm not sure what the breakdown is for the yearly awards, but I do know that Lamar is a 2-time MVP, Josh Allen's 1-time MVP, and Joe Burrow hasn't got an MVP yet as we currently stand. I'm not sure what the other yearly awards are, like an offensive player of the year or whatever it is. I don't know. Offensive rookie of the year, maybe. I'm not sure. But as far as total yearly awards, that's where they stand. And then obviously MVP's the big one. Lamar's got 2, Allen's got 1, and Burrow hasn't gotten 1 yet. But if there is one good piece of news for Joe Burrow, it's that in every Madden simulation that I've done, he wins multiple MVPs every single time. So I would probably expect that to be the same here. So he hasn't got 1 yet, but Madden does love him. So I'm sure he will get 1 at some point. All right, I think that is everything that I need to go over. So let's just grab our time machines and head 10 years into the future and see how these guys finish their careers. The year is 2035. The Jacksonville Jaguars have officially moved to London. The Buffalo Bills are still in search of their first Super Bowl victory. The Cleveland Browns still have not found their franchise quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is still hopelessly signing 1-year deals with bummy teams to try to get himself back into the GOAT conversation. And the NFL's international expansion is fully complete, as this year's Super Bowl will be played in Saudi Arabia. And it is time to see how our three quarterbacks fared for the final 10 years of their career. Man, that was so long, dude. It was like, I was simming. That was like almost a half hour of just sitting here doing nothing, waiting for it to simulate 10 years. I did not realize that it literally went like week by week. Like I thought it was going to be like simulating a year at a time, like some kind of accelerated simulation. for simming that far in the future, but nope, it just goes week by week. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't do this 3 separate times when I can just do it once and look at all the stats at one time. That was definitely the way to go. Josh Allen finishes his career as the all-time leading passer in Buffalo Bills franchise history, 55,883 yards and 447 passing touchdowns. Joe Burrow finishes his career with 44,883 passing yards and 337 passing touchdowns. And Lamar Jackson finishes his career with 45,178 passing yards and 326 passing touchdowns, as well as becoming the all-time leader in rushing for the Ravens as well, with 10,484 yards and 78 rushing touchdowns. At the conclusion of the 2025 NFL season, the Indianapolis Colts were Super Bowl champions, but Joe Burrow picks up league MVP, giving him his first MVP award. 2026, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills make it to the Super Bowl, but come up short once again. And none of our players win MVP. Jalen Hurts took it. 2027, Josh Allen takes home MVP. 2028, Joe Burrow, once again, league MVP. 2029, Joe Burrow, again, league MVP. 2030, Josh Allen once again comes up short in the Super Bowl, but he does take home his third career MVP. And the rest of these years, nobody won any major awards or Super Bowls. Ravens won the Super Bowl this year, but I'm pretty sure Lamar was already retired at this point. The final tally, if we open up our legacy leaderboard, go to quarterback, Josh Allen in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, finishes his career with 0 Super Bowl victories, but 2 Super Bowl appearances, 2 championship victories, in other words, 15 yearly awards, and a 3-time MVP, as well as the all-time leading passer in Buffalo Bills history. Joe Burrow also finishes his career as a Hall of Famer, 0 Super Bowl victories, but he did have 2 championship victories or 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 15 yearly awards to go along with 3 MVP awards. Very, very, very similar stats to Josh Allen. He also finished as the Bengals' all-time leading passer in both yards and touchdowns. And finally, Lamar Jackson finishes his career 0 Super Bowls, 0 championship victories, 2-time MVP, 7 yearly awards, but he also finishes as the greatest dual-threat quarterback to ever play, becoming the all-time leader, franchise leader, I should say, in pass yards, pass touchdowns, rush yards, and rushing touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens, and that's good enough to put him in the Hall of Fame. All 3 of our quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, are all forever enshrined in Canton, Ohio, after their illustrious careers, and all 3 of them became all-time leaders for their respective franchise in terms of passing yards and passing touchdowns. And Lamar Jackson also was the all-time franchise leader in rush yards and rushing touchdowns as well. I'm not sure. I can't really I don't know how to look at all-time rushing stats for Josh Allen. I don't think I can really do that. So at least if I can, I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I went through every menu. I spent 15 minutes going through each and every menu trying to figure out how to look at it, and I can't do it because he's retired. So I can't figure it out. I'll probably try a little bit more and see if I can. But I know Lamar was the greatest dual threat of all time, as he probably will be at the conclusion of his career in real life. But Madden simulates him to be the best, becoming the franchise leader in both passing and rushing in Ravens history. So that will conclude all 3 of these guys' careers. Now, you guys can decide who you think had the best career. I mean, Josh Allen, 55,000 pass yards, I believe, and 440 something touchdowns, I think. And then we got Joe Burrow, who was a little bit behind that. I think Burrow only had 44,000 yards, and I think he had less, 300 and something touchdowns. Both of these guys finished 3-time MVPs with 0 Super Bowls, and their stats are pretty similar. Their awards are identical. 2 championship victories, 15 yearly awards for both of them. Both finished as 3-time MVPs. Lamar Jackson, although he became the Ravens' all-time leader in pass yards, pass touchdowns, rush yards, and rush touchdowns, still didn't manage to win another MVP after his first 2, and he never managed to win a title game or a Super Bowl. So he became the greatest quarterback in franchise history, but was not able to win the big one. The same with these other 2 guys as well. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow both became the best quarterback in franchise history, and they were unable to win the Super Bowl. If I had to pick, I would say out of all 3 of them, Josh Allen probably finished with the best career, just in terms of individual performance as well as team performance. Joe Burrow had the same amount of Super Bowl appearances. Neither one of them got a Super Bowl victory, but Josh Allen did have more passing yards and more passing touchdowns and the same amount of MVP awards. So, I mean, realistically speaking, they both won 0 Super Bowls. They both won 3 MVPs. It's got to come down to the stats, and Josh Allen had the better stats. Lamar, as great as he was being the all-time leader for both rushing and passing for the Ravens, he was unable to ever make it to a Super Bowl, and he had less MVP awards than both Burrow and Allen finished with. So to me, that takes him out of the conversation between these 3. So I'm going to have to give it to Josh Allen, but you guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think Lamar's crazy performance, rushing and passing, is good enough to give him the edge over these 2 guys, even though he was never able to have any team success? Let me know. There's definitely a conversation to be had there, but I would have to say Josh Allen. I mean, 55,000 pass yards, 447 pass touchdowns. Joe Burrow, 44,000 yards, 337 touchdowns. Allen better in both categories, and he had the same amount of championship victories and the same amount of MVPs, which to me, you got to give the edge to Josh Allen here. So just as I predicted, Joe Burrow did get a favorable Madden sim, winning 3 MVP awards. But Josh Allen right behind him, he won 2. They both finished with 3 total. But at the end of the day, I got to give the edge to Josh Allen here. I think he had the best simulated career out of all 3 of these guys. So you want to know which one of these guys Madden thinks is going to have the best career? You're looking at him.